So I'll give you a kind of an idea of the novel. It's the story of an Irish medical family living in England, and starts in 1963 when a 5-year-old child, daughter of 2 doctors, dies suddenly of meningitis. The doctors are called Liam and Connie. And Connie immediately, well, she doesn't immediately, but she abandons the family. She abandons Liam, she abandons the children, and she goes. And the novel follows her as it shifts from England to Nigeria to France to Ireland, and not just her, but other members of her extended family. And it shows a recurring pattern of abandonment. And when I started the novel, I wanted to look at the life of Connie both as a doctor and as a failed mother. What I saw is she was a failed mother. But then it was to see it in the light of the limitations of love and the sort of secrets, the way secrets are held in a family, and the toxic effect that has. But then, when I progressed with the novel, it began to become not just the limitations of love, but the persistence of love. So I'm going to read a bit set in 1963. It's a freezing January day, and it's the day of the funeral of Claire, the 5-year-old who died of meningitis. Liam has been on a night call. He went out at 2 in the morning. He's just back, and he's making himself a cup of tea. If you can't hear, just yell. Is that okay? Liam stood in the kitchen, watching for the kettle to boil. It would soon be dawn. It would soon be the day his daughter was buried. He'd never witnessed the burial of a child. He had seen them die. There'd been plenty when he was a student in Dublin. Whether initially heartbroken or stony-faced, the parents had looked at the solidity and stillness of death as if astonished. He had not been able to look at Claire. It's because children are so alive, so vital, a house surgeon once said. The minute that energy is gone, they seem made of marble. Liam was made of marble. He looked round for the packet of tea. Pat, his sister-in-law, had put everything in unlikely places. He had wanted to take Claire's coffin over to where his mother was buried in Howth, but Connie had said he was mad. What's the point, Liam? The woman's been dead 25 years, sailing out there in the middle of this freezing winter. Will you put the clock back? We'll get a resurrection, will we? It would feel more like Claire's gone home. Home? For God's sake, Liam, the child is dead. Pat had intervened, said it was a bad idea. There's no travelling anywhere in this weather. That was several days ago. Since then, Connie had said nothing. She had stopped talking. The kitchen was cold, and it was too early to start a fire. Liam held his hands over the gas, then turned off the stove. He didn't want tea. He wanted nothing except for all this to be a nightmare, that any minute he'd wake up. Connie was a sleeping mound of eiderdown at the edge of their bed. Pat had probably given her a pill. He turned on the electric fire and slid in quietly. He wouldn't be able to sleep, but it was marginally warmer under the blankets. For a moment he was tempted to shift over and hold his wife. He changed his mind. There was daylight in the now yellow sky, more snow on its way, so he had slept. Liam could hear noises from downstairs, voices in the hall. The alarm clock said 9:15. Connie's side of the bed was empty. He got dressed, went downstairs. Pat was in the basement kitchen giving Rory porridge. Mrs. M upstairs using the U-bank on the sitting room carpet. Dermot was reading the Telegraph in front of the dining room fire. Connie, nowhere to be found. I haven't seen her at all, said Pat. We thought you were both sleeping in. Connie had disappeared. Her car was gone from the garage. All morning as they had breakfast, answered the phone, got ready for church. He kept checking the front door, the garden, no sign of her. She disappeared on the day her daughter was being buried. Meanwhile, Connie has gone shopping. Connie walked into Perkins department store, straight past the makeup ladies gossiping behind their counters to the lift. The relief to get out of the cold. She should have worn gloves. Don't think, get on with it. Now she was in the warm, should remember what she needed. The car would be safe parked where it was. She'd only be a few minutes. The lift smell of Chanel number 5 had mirrors walls. The lift boy refused to look at her, kept his eyes on the ground. She checked. She was a sight. Black rags of hair loose over her fur collar. She looked like a witch. The boy had gold braid on his cap and jacket and barely reached her waist. He was much too short, far too young. They were hiring children illegally and dressing them up. Pat would have it reported immediately. Her sister's face the night she and Dermot arrived. The pious concern. That could be unbearable. "This is the third, madam," he said for the second time. The boy looked anxious, as if Connie might not ever get out. All those people on the other floors banging on the bell would be extremely angry. Could he smell the drink? She was only the smallest tot. The third floor looked wrong, but she couldn't decide why. "Can I help you, madam?" The assistant had appeared from nowhere. "A black coat. I need a black coat." The woman was trying to be helpful, but was clearly confused. "For you, madam?" "Of course for me. Of course for her." The sales assistant stood there, a great lump of gormlessness. Connie waited. Then they both looked around. Racks of children's clothes. Rows of them. A whole floor of children's clothes. "Well, for goodness sake," said Connie. "This is no help to me at all." Everything was so difficult. People were impossible. The assistant didn't seem contrite, was still looking blank as Connie marched off toward the stairs. When she caught her heel in the carpet, a small boy following his mother stopped to stare. Connie made a murderous face. He scuttled off. On the ground floor was a booth selling watches. That's what she needed. She could never hold on to a watch. "It's 12:30, madam," said the bald man behind the counter. They would be going into the church. The house would be empty.